First Things First is sponsored by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Well, Thursday night football returns to Fox. Brady and the Bucks taking on Super Bowl 52 rival Nick Foles and the Bears. It is on Fox, NFL Network, and streaming on Prime Video. All right, back here. First Things First, talking Dallas Cowboys now. In fact, we've been chatting all week about this Cowboys team, not their offense. That offense seems to be clicking. It's the defense giving up a league worst 36 points a game. Is it bad coaching? Is it bad execution? Or is it bad effort? Well, Cowboys safety Xavier said this yesterday. Take a listen.
Our effort's been good. I mean, in certain plays, some guy, me included, it may be a lack, but overall, the effort is there. You don't expect, we're in the NFL, you don't expect guys to full speed for 70 plays. That's not possible. But we're gonna push as hard as we can. We know you don't expect a backside corner to go make a play on the opposite side. He running full speed the whole time. This is not possible, to be honest.
Okay, so just to recap, our effort is great. We just don't always give 100% on every play. But the effort's there completely. Coach Eric Mangini is joining us this morning. Coach, what do you make of Wood's comments? You can't go full speed. You can't give 100% every single play out there.
I don't even know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with this comment at all. We're
just
in
kill
the
him,
NFL.
Coach. Just crush him.
We're in the NFL, so you can't expect us to go full speed. Well, where do you expect it to go full speed? Like youth football, high school football, college football, you're always asking guys to go full speed, but not in the NFL. And the only thing that you can control, you can't always control your ability, but you can control at all times your effort, your discipline. Those things are inherently in your control. And how do you coach from it? How do you know if the guy made a mistake because of technique or because he wasn't going 100%? And if you don't go 100% one play, and then each one of the 11 guys who are on the field take a turn doing that, then what do you do with that? How do you fix that? How do you address those problems? You're dead last in points. You're 30th in yards allowed. You're 29th in takeaways. And for him personally, he's a free agent going into the season. So that's not good. I wouldn't be excited to sign him as a free agent if I knew I'm going to get effort, part of the time. And then the backside corner, how did they get beat? They got beat on trick plays where the play started one way and went back to the backside. So you're going to use that
fired up this morning.
Like, seriously? Hey, it's disappointing that someone gets in front of a microphone and says, yeah, lack of effort, that's cool. We're bad in a year where defense has been really bad, but it's okay. You go part-time. I know Nick takes segments off, but
What I do?
For the rest of
Why is mine
we got
on
to try
me?
hard the whole time.
All right, listen.
Go ahead, Nick.
To be the worst defense in what through 4 weeks has been the worst defensive year in NFL history, as a wise man once said, that ain't great. But Brandon, I'm going to admit something here. I am so relieved and I don't know what you're going to say, but given your reaction to what Coach said and what Coach just said, I feel so much smarter than I felt 12 hours ago. Because when I saw this quote, it struck me as insane. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But then the fact that he said it, I was like, maybe I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Like, you have defensive line rotations, so pass rushers, you know what I mean? They're expected to go all out, but then they get subbed out of the game. Starting safeties are supposed to play the whole game. And so I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's just a thing I didn't know about, that because they're going to play the whole game, there's going to be certain plays they just kind of rest. Like when LeBron stands in the corner and he's like, nah, Rondo, you take over this play. I'm like, maybe that's just a thing that I had no idea about. Because if it's not a thing, why would you say this out loud? But it seems, given what Coach said and what you're saying, that this isn't a thing, and that this is an outrageous thing not only to do, but to just say to the media, like, listen, there's 70 plays. I'm going to give you my best for about 65 of them, but there's going to be 5 I got to chill. That's not a thing, right?
Listen, I can't say it better than Coach did. Like, come on now. Like, if you're not going full speed in the NFL and at the pro level, then when are you doing it? When you're getting paid millions of dollars in a billion-dollar business, like, bro, you sound ridiculous. All right, Xavier Woods, you sound ridiculous. There's 3 things, and Coach, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a few things that's always universal. There's some things in football that never changes. When Coach stands in front of that room every single day, there's 3 things he's teaching us and he's talking about. And even when we're breaking down film, these are the 3 things that you look at when you watch film: assignment, alignment, and effort. So when you hear coaches talk about, hey, the kid graded out great. Coach Nolan just came out last week and said, well, no, these guys graded out good here. Jalen Smith graded out well, the last 4 weeks in these areas. But those are the 3 things that we're looking at. Nothing else. We're not looking at how pretty your clothes are. We're not looking at, how aggressive the tackle was. Did you align properly? Are you in your gap? Did you fit properly so you didn't break down the integrity of the defense, of the offense? Assignment. Did you do your job? So when you talk about this backside corner making that play, that's actually quarters coverage. So what's supposed to happen on the post when we know against quarters, the biggest threat to that is a post? The backside safety, the backside corner is supposed to help out that safety so that doesn't happen. So that is his job. That's his assignment. And then effort is the very last thing, Jenna. I mean, Coach, you said it perfectly. If I'm Dak Prescott in that locker room where every single day on First Things First and then undisputed, these guys are crushing the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm the one that's taking the brunt of all of this, and you're talking about effort, I'm gonna walk in the locker room and say, bro, come on, man, what are you doing? Come on, we have to have a conversation, Jenna.
Coach, what do you do, Coach, if you're Mike Nolan? What do you do if you're a coach on this team and you hear someone say that? Where do you go from here?
Well, first of all, I hope Dak's not watching First Things First every morning. I hope he's studying, and it looks like he actually might be, because they're putting up big points. Now, I wouldn't begrudge him for watching it because he could get some great insight. But the first meeting that I ever went to with Bill Parcells as a young coach, he sat up in front of the players and he said, we're going to evaluate you by a few things. He said, first thing is, do you know what to do? The second thing is, are you doing the things you're coached to do? And the third thing is, are you the same player every day? And that part is critical. Are you the same player every day, or are you going to be up and down? Are you going to be up and down in the games? Because we can't rely on that. We can't put a plan together based off that if you're not consistent. And then when Rodney Harrison came to the Patriots, one of the greatest indicators of how special he was is he would throw the scout team off the practice field, individual guys, if he felt like they weren't giving Tom Brady 100% look in practice. He'd go in and play defensive line if he was mad at a guy who wasn't giving 100% effort on the show team defensive line.
That's
right.
And
that's right. Practice. And that's the mark of greatness, is they're not taking plays off. They're trying to figure out how to get not only themselves better, but other people around them better.
That's right.
So Coach, what do you do right now? Because not only do you have an effort problem, it looks like, on the defense, you probably got a PR problem as well. Allen Iverson famously said, like, his practice rant was misinterpreted, and it haunted him throughout his career. So now you have the new narrative out there that the Dallas Cowboys aren't even trying. So literally, like, next week at New York, what do you tell, if you were coaching, like, do you try to remedy this right away? Because I think you're going to have a PR disaster on your hands.
Look, there's going to be some conversations that go on in the building, and it's not just going to be with the defensive coordinator. It's going to be with the head coach, and the head coach needs to establish what the expectations are. And if there is uncertainty as to what the expectations are, he needs to go through and reestablish the expectations. And I'm sure ownership isn't gonna watch these clips and see these reactions and watch the defense week in and week out and say that's okay. And typically what happens, and unfortunately what happens, is if things don't change, then somebody changes their address. And some of those players will eventually be
that may have went over people's
out.
heads, Coach.
Yeah, they will be shown the door in probably a very public fashion to send a message to the rest of the team that this is not okay. Not giving your best is not okay. And if you think you're going to play like that with the Dallas Cowboys, you're wrong. You can go to another team and see if that works there.
Yeah, you got to think about this, you know, a week before the season, they let go of Ha-Ha. You know, we're talking about they need safety help. So you get rid of a veteran safety, somebody who could potentially help you for this. You know, I think this is a young player who's obviously put his foot in his mouth. He needs to do some damage control, not to us in the media, but in that locker room. Because if I'm on the other side of the ball and we're averaging 425 yards a game and we're playing lights out, now granted we got to clean up our turnovers, but we're playing and we're giving effort every single play. Like, we got to have a conversation because there's too much on the line. And coach, that's why I said, like, this could have went over somebody's head, but you said it's a change of address, meaning that you're fired. Like, every day we walk in that locker room, there's guys that's coming in trying out, and there's guys that's with garbage bags, literally garbage bag being shown the door. And this is a revolving door every single day, and a lot of people don't get that side of the NFL. There's people moving their families to new towns, and they last 2-3 weeks. There's coaches that have families that's in high school, that's in school. Their wives are, you know, getting situated. And then all of a sudden you got piss poor effort from the players, and then they get fired, and now they have to pick up and leave and go to the next place. There's too much on the line for us to be talking about effort.
Brandon, I mean, and I'll leave it at this, Jenna. The Cowboys defense is so bad, it might be costing people jobs that don't even play within the organization. Dwayne Haskins just lost his starting quarterback job after 13 games in Washington. I think in large part because Ron Rivera at Washington's like, you know what? We might be able to win this division with 7 wins with the way the Cowboys are playing. So let's go with a more certain quantity at quarterback than work on it. I mean, this is like the defense has been such a disaster. It's not just to Coach's point about being almost last in almost everything. It's the whole division is like the Eagles are like, we'll take a tie. Washington's like, we'll change quarterbacks because we only need to get to like 7 wins to win this thing.
Giants, by the way, aren't changing a thing. Giants are just going to stay the course.
Giants are just absolutely right.
Coach, as always, you give us 100% of your effort every time out. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, has Tom Brady exceeded expectations in the first 4 weeks of his Bucs career? We're talking Tampa Tom next. A little alliteration.
Everything from Coach was great.